welcome into the Jam Happy Hour. I hope you've been having a wonderful day and you're looking forward to an hour of just really great music and conversation and maybe getting to know our guest, Chloe Lowery, a little bit better as she jumps in from New York City, correct?
New York City.
Thanks for jumping on the Jam Happy Hour with us. I'm really excited about this hour.
Thank you. Thank you for having us. And this is Aurelian. He will be accompanying me
Hi.
today. We've worked together for many years, but we're really, I think, excited to be here.
Oh yeah.
It's something that was born from the pandemic. Getting together and enjoying music. But here we are, all these years later. We're free to move about the country, and we just really found that this is a great way. We get to know you a little bit better. Maybe your fans get to know us and our wines a little bit better at Jam Cellars. And frankly, it's about getting the word out about you and your talent. And we have a lot to get into this hour because you are layers on layers on layers, and I'm looking forward to really kind of diving into all of it. But I would love to set the tone this evening and jump into our first song. What would you like to perform for us?
We are going to perform one of my main songs from my first record that came out in 2019. The album's called The In Between, but this one was called Shiny Toy. So we're just going to start with that one.
Shiny Toys sounds perfect here in the Jam Happy Hour with Chloe Lowery.
Painting on a wall of glass that was never full. Running away again, the only way that you can. Your version of trying was nothing short of lying. It's what a fool. Cover up and hold it in, make your love to a new friend. That's what you do. But then I'm nothing at all. Till we be nothing at all. You said you weren't going anywhere, but where are you now? Till I be nothing at all. Till we be nothing at all. Till I be nothing at all. Go on and play with your shiny toy. You're just another boy on the wrong way, baby. Yeah, but it was real. You never know something weird. I'm just something you. If happiness is just a smile, but you never walk a mile, there's always nothing to you. Play with your shiny toy. You're just another boy. Listen, puzzle and wondering how to walk. You didn't know that I died 1,000 times in my mind, thinking of you. I might have never really let you I was a fool. When a bunch of never came, boys, I guess we'll never change, and that's you. But it'll be nothing at all. Till we be nothing at all. You said you weren't going anywhere, but where are you now? Oh, it'll be nothing at all. Till we be nothing at all. Oh, it'll be nothing at all. Go on and play with your shiny toy. You're just another boy on the wrong way, baby. Yeah, girl, it was real. You never know something real. I'm just somebody you. If happiness is just a smile, but you never walk a mile, there's always nothing to you. Play with your shiny toy. You're just another boy. How would it feel to never know something real? Go on and play with your shiny toy. You're just another What you running
Yay!
Yay! Chloe Lowery kicking off our Jam Happy Hour here with a project that came out in 2019. Interesting timing.
Yes.
Because your first album comes out and then all of a sudden the
World ends.
world just kind of stops. How difficult was that for you to put all of this effort into a really great project? And I mean, I invite everybody to go back and add, Chloe into your playlist and check out the in between, check out, the music from before. But, here's your heart and your soul and your baby and go home. Pick up your shiny toys and go home.
Yeah. No, but you know what? I've written with a lot of people in my past. I've been in bands. I've done all these things, and I took this my first album, The In Between. I sat in my Brooklyn apartment by myself, and I wrote every song on the record pretty much alone. And I worked with a producer. I actually worked with Aurelian on one of the covers that we did, but it was a full-on labor of love. It was a complete story. I was very involved with it. And yeah, I have to say, with the pandemic coming about, it was a little disheartening because just I feel like the world just kind of obviously shut down, and just people weren't really, I don't think, wanting to hear new music. So I honestly just took a break, and I was like, you know what, let me just revamp some things. So now coming out in 2023 and 24 with all of my new music after a little bit of a hiatus, I honestly, this feels great. So it's
not much of a hiatus though. You certainly stayed busy.
Yes. Well, I got to work for a living, so no.
Well,
no, yeah, I work all the time, so it's great.
Yeah, as we had alluded to in the beginning, when it's a lot of layers to Chloe, between working with other artists and other projects, and obviously doing your own stuff too. What do you do for downtime? Do you get downtime?
Yes, I do. I'm like, do I? Well, I feel like work, being an artist, and I think any artist can relate to this. It's kind of, the work it never ends, and it only stops when you actually actively want to stop. So you could just keep going. Yeah. But I think, I hang out with my dogs. I have 2 awesome animals. I take a lot of yoga. I try to do things, like that. I go listen to music. I go see shows. Writing music. It's funny when your work is also your passion. So most of my music is involved with music.
If you guys want to go check out Chloe's Instagram at Chloe Lowery, you will get to see Bodhi and Lola.
Yes.
They are beautiful and lovely. And you will get to dive into yoga and the TSO and the experiences of being on the road with all these different projects. We talked a little bit offline about social media. How comfortable are you with kind of sharing this day to day? It really is kind of an adventure.
There's people that I think want to show every single aspect of their lives, and I applaud that. I'm like an extrovert introvert, because I have some days where I'm like, let me show you everything, and then other days where I'm like, don't look at me, leave me alone. So I don't know if that's just my crazy artist person coming out, but I mean, I'm open to it. I'm learning all the tricks of the trade,
the algorithms,
all the algorithms. And I mean, social media is an amazing tool, especially for independent artists that don't have these big companies or these big platforms to really launch their music. It's a free way of kind of doing the hustle. So I mean, it definitely serves a wonderful purpose for sure.
You've kind of seen both sides of that coin, being signed at a very early age. You kind of got thrown into the machine with a record label. And then now being on this side of things, you've seen other projects go through it. And like you said, now you're kind of in control of your own thing, which is kind of freeing and exciting and terrifying all at the same time too. Having been on both sides of the machine, is there one that you feel more comfortable in?
I think once upon a time when the industry was the industry, when there was
very different,
when there was artist development, and I was 12 when I had my first record deal with RCA,
which is mind blowing.
Well, I walked in, I was like, I didn't even know. I was like, people ask me songs, they're like, tell us about how do you feel, and I'm like, I've never even kissed a boy, so I was like, I don't even know what I'm talking about here. So give me a minute. But that time, that was still when they were developing artists and really wanting to help, on the financial aspect, but then the artistic aspect. And the industry is not like that anymore. And any independent artist can tell you that. Any successful artists with huge label deals and things like that, it's a different world. Labels now ask you how many, followers do you have, or they're not asking you like,
Streams, your downloads,
what's the meaning of your music or anything like that. So I personally, at this point in my life, I do like having the independent side to just be able to explore the true artistry, not to get like all like, I'm an artist, but truly just to be able to be like, let me just do kind of what feels organic to me versus trying to follow a trend or something like that. So I kind of like this side of it, but huge record deal came calling. It's not like I would be like, no,
I'm sorry. I'm too independent. Don't look at me.
I'm too independent.
It really has changed a lot, though. It was already changing even prior to 2020, and now it just continues to evolve and change. And as a radio programmer, I've seen it from kind of a different side. Dealing with labels on my side versus on your side. And you're right, like a lot of that artist development has kind of gone away. Now, if there is a up and coming artist who's watching this tonight, and getting kind of influenced, what is a piece of advice that you would give them as far as trying to navigate all of this craziness out there?
I honestly can answer this with complete transparency and honesty. It's find out who you are. Find out what you want to say, how you want to sing, what you want to sing. Find out that to them, because people are going to question you from the top to the bottom of every part of your journey. Mm-hmm. And I think the more secure and confident you are as an artist and what your platform is and, all those things, that the noise doesn't seep in so aggressively, but because I think people can get easily swayed because you're like, oh wait, this person thinks I should do this. So it's like, just take the time to figure out who you are and what you want to say. That's what I
love that. I think that's just good life advice right there.
You're welcome. Come to my TED
Chloe. Talk. It's her TED Talk. I would love to maybe get another song out of you here in the Jam Happy Hour. What would you like to perform for us next?
I would actually, and Aurelian suggested we do this. Let's do my latest single is "Get Through the Night," which just came out a few weeks ago, and I've got a music video that's coming out literally in like a week or two. Yay for that! But we played it for the first time live in New York City at my at a show here, and so we'd like to kind of just do that and get that one going. And the song's out now.
All right, so it is brand new. Get Through the Night with Chloe Lowery here in the Jam Happy Hour.
Yee!
I wish I could drink you away, trying to forget the emotion I gave. Oh, I never had you. Words I just can't figure out. Sign up for love, never a doubt. Promises you couldn't make true. So I'll not go on and say, make love and push me away. Dream on the patterns in your mind. But I know that I'll be okay if I can rewrite the frame. It's just a matter of time. Girl, get through the night. Girl, get through the night. Girl, get through the night. Sometimes I wonder how you feel. Was it the moment or was it real? Our excuse can change the point of view. I'm feeling so happy and happy for you. Disappointed, but I bet you do. That's the only thing taking me through. So I'm not go on and say, make love and push me away. Dream on the patterns in your mind. But I know that I'll be okay if I can rewrite the frame. It's just a matter of time. Girl, get through the night. Girl, get through the night. Girl, you're gonna get through the night. You're gonna get through the night. Now you gotta know. Girl, you're gonna get through the night. Gonna get through the night. So I'll go on and say, make love and push me away. Dream on, patterns in your mind. I know, but I know that I'll be okay if I can read
That is a fresh one. That
Right.
is so new and out there and get through the night. And are you comfortable as an artist kind of talking about like where that song came from? Because I know when I hear it, I hear something differently, but like, are you comfortable with like where did that song come from for you?
No, obviously, I'm pretty transparent about like what songs to me. I think it's always important when you hear a song for you to develop your own personal
Hmm.
attachment or feeling to it. But truly, there's a universal symbolism to the song that means like getting through the night. Meaning, like, you've ever had those moments where you're going through something and you're like, oh my god, if I can just sleep through this night and wake up and tomorrow it's a brand new day, it's
Yep.
gonna be better. That's what this whole song is about. And I personally related it to, I was going through a breakup, to be honest. And I wanted to, like, my first lyrics are, God, I wish I could drink you away, trying to forget the emotion I gave. It was basically a journal entry of just like, I just got to get through. If I get
Just
through
get
tonight,
through this.
tomorrow's going to be a little bit better. And then, we're going to get better. But that's
Distance,
basically
little distance, little distance. I yeah,
it.
I think those are the songs everybody can kind of really relate to though, because I mean honestly, that's where my brain went. It was like, ooh, I've had those nights. Like where you're just like, seriously, just get me to the morning. I'll regroup then. Don't pick up your phone. Don't don't
It's so
call. Don't
relatable. I mean,
text.
it doesn't just have to be about a breakup. That's why I was like saying it's kind of on everything. Like, there's those panic nights where you're just like, I cannot sleep, but like, just girl, get through the night and it's gonna get better.
You said the video's coming out soon.
Yeah.
How fun is that for you to attach the visuals to your songs?
I love making music videos. I love creating them. Sometimes the long hours and very cold climates is not always fun, in my opinion.
Hmm.
I
Hints.
always like end up schlepping through like New York or schlepping through somewhere, and it's always freezing. And we're Florida girls, so we don't love the cold. But it's
Where's the
really
humidity when you need it?
Yes. But it's always fun to see your kind of vision to come to life in a different way, from on a visual aspect. So it's fun.
I know with some artists, they almost kind of have the visuals parallel to the songwriting process. How is that for you? Like, do you hear the song first? Do you visualize it as you're doing it? Does it come later?
It usually comes later for me. It comes like after listening to like demo one, demo two of like the
Mhm.
drafts, and then I'll be, I don't know, walking. I'll be doing something. I'll just be like listening to the song, and then the visuals start popping up as the song is being created. But I know there are people that kind of do the other way around of it, but it comes to me a little bit after I've like developed the idea.
So the video's coming out here, you said in about a week.
I think it's like a week or two. I'm waiting for like the final date because I'm getting my Vivo channel and there's like some update things, but it should be like a week. It's been done since like October, to be honest.
Oh, see, how hard is that? See, that's what kills me as an artist. Like, how can you sit on something that is done, wrapped in a bow, ready to go, hit the button, and you're like, no, no, hold. Like, it's like a bad movie scene. Hold. You can't do anything. Like, you just got to wait for it. Is that the worst?
It's sometimes can be frustrating, but I think knowing and I've been at this a long time, it's like just kind of knowing the long term. Like, there's no point in rushing things, so it's like just strategically kind of going behind it. But no, it's like I've been excited because I want people to see it. I'm like, why don't we work on our story? But patience. Oh, we need
Patience,
just a
girl,
little
stop it.
patience sometimes.
Oh, I want to dive into the songwriting process with you. I want to kind of like figure out how your brain works and how your thoughts get to music, but it feels like a really good time to jump in on another song here in the Gym Happy Hour with Chloe Lowery. If you are enjoying the music and obviously the voice and the storytelling and everything going along with it, please follow on all of your platforms, wherever you get your music, your Spotify, your iHeart, because every little click and like and heart, it really does matter. So here's everything you need to know right here for everybody following along. And please do share it with your friends as well. What would you like to play for us next?
I think I'm going to keep it going with the new music. Just
Ooh.
I think this is whatever. This song was the first song that I've released since my album, The In Between. This one is Girls Like Me, and this was the heavier one to release. And this is a very personal song for me. It was a song that I wrote as a kind of a love letter to myself that I didn't actually ever think I was going to put out because it was almost too vulnerable or too. It almost said too much. I'm like, am I actually comfortable with saying this? But then
Right.
I sang it live once, and just the response and the people really understanding or relating, I just kind of felt like it was a responsibility. Like, I was like, I know I need to put this out because I think some other people need to know that like we're not alone in this. So I mean, you hear the lyrics, but yeah, I'm going to do this one's also out. So Girls Like Me.
All right. Girls Like Me with Chloe Lowery here in the Jam Happy Hour. Take it away.
I'm obsessive and unsure. I want the answer before I know the cure. I stress to be amused, complicate the way, and I wonder what I bruise. But oh, maybe I'll listen now. Somehow the gravity holds me down. But girls like me, they fall a little too low for all the world to see, and it breaks your heart. But girls like me, every time that they get up, are the diamonds in the rough when they finally realize they're enough. Sometimes I'm bold and I'm brave. I smile to hide all that I won't say. And oh, loving the wrong one every time. I know you told me, but now I'm sinking in my mind. But oh, maybe if I say it loud, oh how I feel, maybe it can be real. But girls like me, they fall a little too hard for when they try to speak, but the words are just too hard. But girls like me, every time that they get out, they're the diamonds in the rough when they finally realize they're enough. They're enough. Oh, maybe she'll hear me now. Oh, listen up. Shouldn't that be enough? But girls like me, a little heady, a little bent, and sing nights till 3, only to forget. But girls like me, they remember when the morning comes. They are loved, but girls like me, they fall a little too hard for all the world to see. That bright they are, but girls like me, every time that they get up, they're the diamonds in the rough when they finally realize they're enough.
Yay.
That's a vulnerable one. That is, I can see why people would absolutely gravitate to that. It's very authentic. Like, I can see why you're like, that's,
Yeah.
maybe I'm putting something out there. But again, it's like, it's something I think we all can relate to on some level, too.
That's kind of how I felt. And I think, as a songwriter, it, I don't, that was my first time that it really was like completely like from my journal and like, would just word vomit. Like I just said exactly what was on my mind. I didn't try to like poetically sugarcoat it.
Sure.
It's like, make it like, oh, this is poetry. I was just like, I'm just gonna say exactly how I
That's
feel.
right.
Yeah. Must rhyme, must have a haiku. I just like, you know what, this is me. And I think sometimes with like the misconception also like because I tour with TSO and I've done Broadway and I've done all these really big I've had the wonderful opportunity to do these really big shows to kind of just show this side where I don't think people have really gotten to know me on that level. It was nice. It was selfishly nice. I was like, wow. I was like, I feel like I'm getting to know people a little bit better, or people are getting to know me a little
Getting
better.
to know you a little bit better too. I mean, it's a shared trauma,
Yes.
when you're going through, especially, successful, busy, creative women or just people in general, you find yourself in a situation where you're second guessing yourself and a lot of what you're going through, and being able to put that into words and being like, no, I am enough and it is okay. And I'm just going to sit in this for a little while. I think that's something that people need to hear. And I'm really glad that you push through it and you're like, you know what? It's me. Let's just do this.
Thanks. Yeah. No, it really, I mean, I kind of held that baby a little close to my heart because I was like, I can't put this out. I was like, people are going to think I'm like, I don't know, crazy or something. I don't know. But I just said, you know what, screw it. And this is what I need to say. This is where I'm at. This is who I am. Once again, like we were talking about earlier, like the best advice I can give is to really just to find your voice and find out who you are. It makes navigating this thing called life a lot easier.
But you also had mentioned, like, you have the opportunity to do a lot of these like big productions too. Like, I mean, many of us have, grown up experiencing a TSO show here or there, or like Yanni's like a big production too. Are you more comfortable in that big setting or being on Broadway, or like that's a big, big thing? And then you've got something that's so stripped down and so very authentic, as in like you and your words and your songs. I guess you have to find a comfort in both, but it's like, they have to be quite different, I would think.
It definitely is. And I mean, Aurelian also, he's played on like monstrous stages, and like you could chime in if you'd like, Aurelian.
Yeah.
I think it's but no, I always say, it's funny to say, I feel more comfortable probably on stage than I am in my normal life. And I'm trying to actually just like work that out. It's something I'm always working on. It's just like, I love to sing, and I feel like it's my most authentic self when I'm out there.
Right.
These bigger shows, obviously I'm still Chloe, the artist, but playing a character. In these more intimate settings, I feel like it's like, not like I'm like, I have to stand and perform and do these things. This is just like, let me just jam and jive and be my like true artist self. So I think that's kind of the difference. It's like kind of almost playing a character on these bigger stages, and then having like a more intimate artistic moment here, and like new stuff comes out, and like I don't have to stick to a complete like script of like what I have to do. I can just play.
Right. Yeah. It's interesting you use the word character, because it's almost like, okay, you step into this production.
Yeah.
And
like
when you're just doing Chloe.
I'm like most shows, unless we do something different, I'm like the mother role. So just like, there's a story. Paul O'Neill wrote all of these stories. So every song that we sing there's a meaning with it. So it's like, I kind of have to obviously put on my actor hat and kind of do that. But it's amazing to look out and see, 24,000 people staring at you, and like to be on this huge stage, and like it's a dream come true. Trust me, I am eternally grateful every day for it. But I do kind of, as an artist or as a human, this sometimes is more fun because it's like I get to I feel things more in this sort of environment.
Yeah, I mean, it's a rush to be on stage in the large environment, but it's also kind of a rush to be super comfortable enough with yourself.
Well, it's tricky. I mean, like you said, it's a thrill to be in front of a lot of people, but for me, I find it's harder to connect when you're in such a big when there's a ton of people, because the stage is huge and maybe the audience is a little far away, physically.
Yeah.
And it's easier to connect when you're on a small stage and people are close by and listening, but it's also more difficult in the sense that it is a hard thing, like you're more vulnerable, and you're out there, stripping yourself down to the people that are watching you, and like, oh, okay, that's
yeah, you're like, it's you and me, and you're right there.
Yeah, exactly.
I think a lot of people actually do get more unnerved, like when you like, hello, I'm singing right at you, you're like that close. Totally. Yeah. It's easier to kind of pretend like if the whole audience is naked, or like whatever
Does
whatever you guys think about in a bigger scale. But I think this is more of like a conversation with people, and I like that aspect. But I agree with you completely.
Speaking of performing live, what are the plans? We have a fresh year ahead of us. We have new music out there too. Are there plans to get out and perform that as well?
Yes, the plan is to continue to perform, continue to put out new music, try to put out a new song every 6 weeks, 7 weeks, and just kind of keep that ball rolling. And I think just because I was, for my solo stuff, I was gone for, a couple of years. So, and last year I spent a lot of the time working like behind the scenes on a couple of other shows. So this year is just completely dedicated to putting new music out. So yes, there's more shows, and obviously on my website, I'll have updates on tours or any upcoming shows that I have.
Very cool. I already see Chicago on your list. So
Yes. That is a symphony show that I am doing. That's not necessarily a Chloe show, but it's a very big symphony show, which is
girl,
fun.
you have so much going on. I cannot even keep track. I love it so much. Make sure you guys are following along though, so you can, if she's coming through your area, it's definitely a talent that you're gonna want to see up close or in 20,000 people. Either way, we are just thrilled to have you here in the Jam Happy Hour and to get to kind of share this with everybody
No,
too.
we're so super grateful. I'm just thank you. Like this is fun.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Good. I want to dive into the childhood. I want to dive into the influences. I want to get into all that good stuff in just a bit. First, it sounds like a great time for another song.
Perfect. Let's do. Should we do like Renegade? Let's do Renegade. So Renegade is actually it was another kind of uptempo off of the In Between, and yeah, this one's just fun. There's no real big story. It's just a little ditty.
We like fun. Renegade here in the Jam Happy Hour. It's Chloe Lowery. Enjoy.
Tell me why you're here again, if all you wanna do is run. Something in the wonder we've brought us together. Now I know everything I truly wanted. I was born a quitter, I was born a winner. You could keep your heart with a broken there you go again, just a renegade like a bullet through my heart. You're into the night, yeah, you wonder why the hell I'm standing here looking back at you, look back at you. Whoa. I'm just gonna don't you recall the words you promised when you wrote a different ending to our story. Oh, renegade, I've been waiting on forever for you to change. So tell me why you're here again, if all you wanna do is make me cry. Oh, you said you wanted truth, but you meant for me to lie. And think I actually need this. I'm gonna find another one. I'm gonna find another love. It was a matter of time when you leave me like this. There you go again, just a renegade like a bullet through my heart. You're into the night, yeah, you wonder why the hell I'm standing here looking back at you, looking back at you. Whoa, I must have don't recall the words you promised when you wrote a different ending to a story. Oh, renegade, I've been waiting on forever with you to change. I fell in love with you for real, but you can't be free when you're running like hell the other side. Oh, look to other people just to be justified, 'cause you give me alone at night. So there you go again, just a renegade like a bullet through my heart. Oh, into and you wonder why. I'm looking back at you. There you go again, just a renegade like a bullet through my heart. Oh, into the night, yeah, you wonder why I'm looking back at you. I must be alone. Don't you recall the words you promised when you wrote a I've been waiting on forever for you to change. Oh, I've been waiting on forever for you to change. Yay.
Renegades never change.
No, they don't.
We know this. Got the crib notes. Chloe Lowery here in the Jam Happy Hour. I hope you guys are enjoying the music. And if you happen to be sipping on some of our great wines, that's awesome as well, or water, either way. We're just happy to be here to share the hour and get to know Chloe and her music a little bit better. How hard is it to sit on songs that are in progress, done, just an idea, a voice memo? Like, how often are you thinking about the next song or the current song?
Always. I think always. Except for I mean, I'm a very I always say when I'm not writing, I'm in my like living phase because I'm not somebody that can write all the time. Like I need to go experience things and live things and then I'll be completely flooded and want to write like things will just come out. And I am one of those writers that I don't like to struggle with my songwriting. Like I sometimes I've had labors of love where I'm like it's taken me like days and days to complete.
Yeah.
But I feel most connected to the music when it's like it was cooking and the timer went off and she was just ready to come out. So, but yeah, I mean, my phone, my computer, it's a hot mess. There are so many ideas, some of which are in progress, some of which I'll never look at again, some that I was like, that's terrible. And then some that I'm madly in love with. So it's a constant process.
I have this weird gear in my brain where I'll have a thought and it's like, oh, that's a good thought. I'm not writing a song, but like just like life in general. And I'm like, I better not forget that. And then in the process of trying to get to whatever apparatus to save it, damn thing loops around and I lose it.
It happens like I get the biggest ideas when I'm in Shavasana for yoga. Like I'll be there. Like,
you can't get up.
You can't get up, but I'm like, remember it. And I go out of the class. I'm like, grab your phone. I'm like a crazy person. If you're like, wait, we were supposed to just like be meditating. And I'm like, no, I definitely was doing the exact opposite. That happens. And I even think like when I'm not writing a lot or just like the melodies aren't coming to me, I have a laundry list of just like song ideas and titles and just trying to remember as much as I can. But sometimes we forget. In the middle of the night, we'll forget.
Oh. In the shower, anywhere. So I've always felt that was probably very hard for like a creative or like an artist to be like, you have the best idea ever. Oh crap.
It is actually, I hate when I like wake up in the middle of the night. I'm like, I have this idea, or it's like something like I'm like, ooh, that's good. Mm-hmm. I didn't write it down. It's gone. Goodbye.
Whether it's a lyric or a chord or a progression, you're just like,
yeah, and maybe that was better because I was in my sleep mode. I don't know. But the ones that you can kind of lock down, try. That's why it's always like, as writers, like have your phone kind of like as close to you as possible. Get that voice memo ready because
you don't want to lose it. But I feel like if it's meant to be, it will come back around somehow, some way.
Yes.
It'll find its way back to you. I know you are now putting out new music in the year, which is fantastic. Not to give away too much, but how many songs are you thinking about maybe gifting us with this year? I know you're kind of like on this like every 6-week thing, but how many songs are ready to go?
There's a bunch that are ready to go and a bunch that are just newly in the works. And it's kind of deciding, what's the next temperature that we're going to be reading and what's going to be the next vibe. Like I said, just I don't feel completely compelled to put out a full album at the moment, like I did my first time around. And I think it's kind of, we're in a singles world. And people are able to digest like one song at a time versus an entire compilation.
Right.
So I don't know. I'm just like every 6 weeks, I'm going to try to put something out. If I miss a 6 week, okay. And that, it'll come out. And just as much as I can without, over flooding, but keeping a good rhythm. But there's just lots in the works. Riley and I are working on a cover. It's lots. Stay tuned.
It's interesting that you differentiated between like the 2019, the In Between project, which you said was like a full concept. It was a whole thing.
Yes.
You had to start, a middle, and end. And now, like, either you've changed or the industry's changed, or just the way that we ingest our content these days has changed, that you're like, no, I don't need to do the full thing?
It's a mixed bag because I would love to do a full record. As an artist, I think selfishly, like you want a complete thought and idea, and there's some songs that you're going to put out that like aren't necessarily meant to be singles, like they're just supposed to be album tracks. But I think
Yeah.
that's why I'm so grateful for opportunities like this with you, and being an independent artist, like every stream, like everything, it really does help, and I'm grateful that people are listening and liking things. But hope maybe down the line another album will come, but right now it's just about getting kind of the word out that like I'm doing the solo material, because the majority, I have to be honest, of my fan base has been from other projects that I've done,
Yeah.
and not necessarily Chloe and her songwriting, some, but not fully. So that's just kind of what I'm trying to develop at the moment.
That's what makes this hour so fun. Like you kind of get to see a different angle of it, and then when you hear the music, you're like, "Oh my gosh! Like I really like this. More, please."
Yes.
And then it's like the machine is off and running, and so often, you can trace everything kind of back to what what you were hearing and what you were influenced by, in your youth or as you were like kind of coming into your own. Like you can hear like certain tones of different projects kind of along the way. Do you feel like your childhood influences are still continuing to influence your music to this day? Or do you feel like this gave me a set of tools and now I'm moving on and doing my own thing?
No, I think, I mean, if anyone who wants to go listen to my music, you'll hear, I mean, I'm very, there's a lot of pop, obviously, influences. And then there's also a lot of rock, which, I mean, that's mainly what I've been known to do. But I have like, I already, what I call my holy trinity, which is Mariah, Whitney, Celine. And I mean, just for technique and all of those things and all that, of course. I mean, that's
set
like
the bar high. Why don't you, Chloe?
but that's why they're my holy trinity. But funny enough, I fell in love with rock music. I fell in love with Led Zeppelin, and I fell in love with Ann Wilson from Heart. And I actually even toured with Big Brother and the Holding Company singing Janis Joplin songs when I was 17 years old. So it's been.
Where do you get Janis Joplin pipes at 17?
Girl, I actually don't really know.
The God-given gift.
No, it was a strange thing how that all came to be, but I'm so grateful for that experience. And the guys in the band even like challenged me to kind of work my voice in different ways. But
there's a lot of pain in those voices, though. So like you coming in, obviously it's a ton of technique at that age, being young enough to have the talent to be able to create, the sounds, but as you live life, you begin to realize the pain and the hurt and just everything else that was going on behind the grasp and the guttural of it all. I mean, the fact that you managed to pull that together at that age is just mind blowing to me.
Thanks. I honestly, I wish I could kind of go and do it like again now at this age and be like, oh, like I actually
got it.
I got it. I'm like, wait, I actually know what that song actually now means, and so many other things. I was like, I got thrown into the deep end, like not really knowing what to expect. So I wish I could do it again, but I think it served purpose and maybe helping me develop, different aspects of my voice at that young age.
And
so
kind of the sound you're doing now too.
Yeah, because I mean, it's not, I don't just sing purely pop, but like, I think you hear like a little, the Mariah, the Celine, like the Whitney, but then you hear like, I mean, I growl and I got like,
Teeth.
so it's mainly those influences together. And then obviously I'm such a fan of just other artists that really aren't like virtuoso singers. It's not always about singing to me. It's about the songwriting. Like I love singers that can sing 4 notes and make me die in those 4 notes. Like that's wonderful. You don't need to sing the whole, piano. But yeah, everything from my childhood to now they're all influences. It always seeps in one way or another.
What would you consider your good mood music? Like you're coming in the house, you've had a crummy day, you just want to put something on, instant good mood.
Such a hard question because I go through phases of things. Where I have sometimes a love-hate relationship with music. Like if I'm in my writer's block, I can't listen to you. Like I can't look at you.
It's a competition now.
I'm just like, no. But I have my guilty pleasures. I really, I'll listen to some like pop music. Like if I'm like feeling like that vibe, I really like listening to jazz, on the side. Just like
that's a mood.
Cleaning my house type thing. Also classical music, anything classical. That puts me in the zone of like when I need to work. And then I'll do like my throwbacks, like my favorite bands, like The Kills, are one of my favorite bands, Goldfrapp.
Wow.
Um,
Oh, wow.
I want to sometimes
Did
Black.
not see us going there, but I love it.
But that, I mean, yeah, there's so many, just depends on what kind of mood I'm in, I think.
So, do you ever think that, the day is here that people are going to listen to your music to do just that?
Honestly, it still floors me when people comment. They're like, oh, I'm like, have you streamed Get Through the Night yet? And people are like, listen to it 40,000 times. Love you. Like, really? I'm like, I don't even know if I listen to it that much. That makes you feel so good. Like you're just doing something right. You're connecting. And I think, I mean, not that we once again sound like artsy, whatever, but this whole thing that we're doing is about connecting and relating. Mm-hmm. And if somebody's getting something from it, I mean, one, it's wild, and I'm grateful. And I think if people are relating, then we're doing something right. So
well, I feel like you're relating. You could definitely see the comments and all of like the likes and the shares, and obviously with more new music coming out throughout the year, it's just going to get bigger and bigger, which is very exciting, for us. And we're thrilled to have you here in the Jam Happy Hour. I feel like let's take that momentum into what will be our 5th song of the hour. It's going by so quickly.
I should have told
what? I know, right? I told you.
Joe, I think this is kind of fitting. This is going to be a cover, actually. And we've done, Aurelia and I kind of worked this cover out, but you talked about my influences and kind of like what seeps in. This is a version of Heartbreak Hotel by Elvis Presley, but you're going to hear it completely reimagined.
Okay.
And it's a little bit more on the rockier side, but it's one of my favorite covers. It's a little dark and moody, but I was like, you know what? Let's just go there.
What is that instrument?
It's a lap steel.
Ooh.
We had to get fancy with the lap steel. He's pretty amazing at this.
I'm looking forward to it. As he gets all set up there.
I've played with a slide. I'm not an expert at all, but I know what I know.
You know enough to be dangerous.
Okay.
Okay. That is very cool. And we're about to get very bluesy and dark up in here, I think. I love it. Heartbreak Hotel, Chloe Lowery and the Jam Happy Hour.
This is my baby. Found a new place to dwell. It's down at the end of all this room. I get so lonely, baby. I get so lonely, baby. Oh, I get so lonely, baby. Well, although it's always bright, you still can't find the broken heart in loves to cry. I can't so lonely, baby. I can't so lonely, baby. Oh, I get so lonely, baby. I could all the bells and tears keep flowing. West Coast dress they've been so long, lonely, so really never call me back. When I get so lonely, baby, I get so lonely, baby. Oh, I get so lonely, baby. I get so lonely. Just take a walk on roadless
Yay! Yay, it really is.
That is one of those songs that you can just lose time in. It's like, you're like, I am so vibing out in this moment. You're like, oh, wait, I know this song. And yeah, you put a very cool, kind of sultry, almost like a Grace Slick kind of a vibe into it. That was well done. Cheers to you.
Thank you.
Cheers to both of you.
You wouldn't think of that song like that. Like,
No.
it was just, you're lucky when you find a cover that you can kind of reimagine and just like it works.
Mhm.
And when we did that one, we were just like, this is cool. So.
We touched on it earlier. You are a Florida girl.
Yes.
It's a Florida vibe thing. It's a very different world from which you come. But obviously New York is such a big part of you, and from Broadway to your experiences to your family to like everything. Do you feel like New York, the city itself, has kind of had an influence on your sound and your trajectory at this point?
Definitely. The city is tough, but it's also inspiring. You kind of have to find your own rhythm with it. And I've been in love with the city, and I've broken up with the city, and I've hated her, him, and I was like, get out, I hate you. But then there's so much culture, and there is so many amazing musicians that you meet, and so much life, and you can't help but not be inspired by that. So definitely, and I mean, I've been here off and on since I was 15, so I'm like officially a New Yorker.
Yorker.
I don't have the accent, but sometimes I try to pretend like I do. But Aurelian, I think, can tell you too. It's just like there is something vivacious about this city, and it comes out in your art. I think New Yorkers, we tend to, like, I don't know, maybe have a little edge to our writing.
True. Yeah.
Because I mean, we're just kind of edgy humans. Like, you have to be to kind of like navigate these streets. I'm out here in these streets, you know.
Yeah,
I don't want.
it's a lot about the people that you meet here too, and what as artists and creators,
Yeah.
we
Agreed.
all influence each other and strive to be like this person or that person, or take a little bit of this person, a little bit of that person, go see an amazing show, go see an amazing concert,
Agreed.
and make your own, hopefully.
Yep.
Like an actual like creative community.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's big.
We've talked a couple of times about the kind of the Nashville community where everybody's super collaborative, to a point. Do you feel like New York is the OG in that sense of it's been such an artist's like haven for so long that everybody is constantly, like you said, like collaborating without even realizing it?
It's a different collaboration in my mind. Like, I feel like Nashville is like hugs and like, let's all get together in the room and drink a moonshine. And I don't know, I feel like people are nicer. New York, it's harder, but it's almost like I feel like there's like a push element. Like, I think we all push each other because we're trying to get the job done. But whereas Nashville, and I could be wrong. I mean, I've been to Nashville 1,000,001 times. I've never lived there, but Nashville feels very a much nicer community. New Yorkers, we're tough, we're hard.
You're like, hey, I'm working over here.
I mean, it is what it is. It's just like I'm grinding. I'm here for the hustle, which is a beautiful thing if you can navigate it correctly, for sure.
Well, you both have a ton of chops earned in the hustle of New York City. New music to come, more new music to come in 2024, which we're super excited about. I told you it's the fastest hour in music, and we have time for about one more song here with Chloe Lowery in the Gem Happy Hour. How would you like to take us out this evening?
You know what? I want to do the word you wanted.
Okay.
I haven't done this song in a really long time, and it was from my album, The In Between. And this song, it kind of wrapped up the whole album, and it's acoustic, it's personal. I haven't sang in a very long time, so
This will be fun.
I'm just like, let's just. I literally haven't sung it probably since 2019, like out loud. So,
Wow.
I have a love for this song, and so we're gonna do that one.
I'm sure we will too. It's The Words You Wanted, Chloe Lowery and the Jam Happy Hour.
I couldn't find the words until now, hiding behind my fingers and forgiving you, and you did nothing wrong, just so the world knows it. We're the love only people dream of. But I need you to be the man. You couldn't show up, couldn't grow up, so began to fall. And I always love you, but somehow I lost me while I was busy holding on to you. And somewhere in between, we both got what we needed. I found myself and set you free. What's the truth? Someone hurt you won't burn. I wonder if we did it all over again. We come to this end, maybe stay as friends. And now I painted a picture to help me sleep at night. All these damn songs they haven't right. Time's the only friend I know. I built you a fortress around you, a wide world. And I'm always loving you, but somehow you lost me while I was busy holding on to you. And somewhere in between, we both got what we need to breathe. I found myself. And I'll always love you, but somehow lost me while I was busy holding on to you. And somewhere in this ocean between, we both got what we need to breathe. I found myself and set you free. Here's the words that you wanted, the words that you wanted that I couldn't write. It hurts now all the time. Was it really that easy for you to let it go? I've been broken from the start, but I still miss you.
What a beautiful way to wrap up the Jam Happy Hour. Thank you to both of you for hanging out here with us. You guys, Chloe's got a beautiful post on her Instagram if you want to jump in and just kind of comment along with what you've enjoyed here this evening with the Jam Happy Hour. And you can also follow Aurelian from there as well. And thank you for your beautiful playing tonight. Yes. We will be watching. There is more to come from you in 2024. And cheers to you both, and cheers to the new music, and thank you for sharing.
Thank you, Jana, so much. I had such a good time.
Same. Cheers, pieces, and hope to see you in person soon.
Yes.
Bye.